Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be Cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. Welcome to the I'm a fire. I tend. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side. Very well, then take nourish. Let these souls withdrawn from their vessels, manifestations of disparity. Farewell, Ashen One. May the
Well, I am Andre, as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose. Pretty be careful. I go.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont? No? Ashen One. Oh.
Ashen Pretty the Moctol. Ashen One. Ashen One. Produce the coiled sword at the bonfire. The mark of ash will guide thee to the land of the lords.
That's what I wanted. Rather important to the lore of the game as well. I hope you are enjoying it. So, what is happening, guys? Cowboy here, and it may be cloudy out, but we're praising. From Sigurd of Katarina called appropriate weapons such as the axe. As you can see, I'm able to stagger lock him. It's one of the better things about things like the axe and mace is you have very good staggering capabilities. Got the dogs. Full arm guy giving me a little bit more trouble than I thought he would. Stagger him down. It's the great thing about the axe. Once you start hitting, you can pretty much just lock them in place and beat them into oblivion. And it doesn't matter. We can heal up now because we're going to end up hitting the bonfire before we continue onward anyway. So up here, one of these enemies will spawn into an abyss beast. Keep that in mind. If I remember, I think it's the one that's right there praying. Yep, there he is. Oh no, we fluked out and killed him. So that's something I should probably mention. The enemies that have the potential to spawn and become an abyss beast, you can kill them before that spawn happens. If you kill them before that spawn happens, you just get the souls that would be associated with killing them normally. If you wait until they become an abyss beast, you'll get more souls out of them, and in addition, the abyss beasts will always drop an ember. So unfortunately, he did not become one there. I didn't mean to actually hit him with the axe, but just so you know, he can become one. You do get an ember from it, and I believe he also has a chance to drop a Titanite shard as well. So right before I go back, looking right down there, there's a shortcut. That'll be the shortcut to the boss for this area. We unlock that a bit later. And we're going to continue onward. Now, all these enemies that are praying, you can largely ignore them for the most part if you want. I kill everything. It's just like, it's just the way I play the game. You know, free souls are free souls, even if it's only 36. Soul is a soul in my book. I think that's everybody dead. Oh yes, let me go up here first. So up here we're going to be grabbing our binoculars. There's also going to be an enemy up here kind of waiting to trick you. You can see a spear right there. Just hesitating for just a moment like we did right there. You can see it allowed us to avoid him completely. There we go. And there's our binoculars. Feel free to roll through boxes. You know you want it. And get ourselves some resin. We are going to go here, drop on down, and get ourselves some resin. Now, this is just the staircase we could have taken. There it is, just to pull everything back together. By just going that way, you gain access to the resin. Enemy behind here. Take him out. Grab some fire bombs. Now, this is just a view. You can't actually go this way at all, but you can kind of see some of the enemies that are waiting for us up ahead. This guy wants to come up and play. We'll send him back down. Get back here, loot. Nope. There we go. Got a longsword off him. Nice. That's not a guaranteed drop, for those curious. So here, we're going to break this guy's shield. Oh, he's actually going to attack. Usually they wait to shield up much longer. So this is where the dragon's at. Now, to make this easier, what we're going to do is sprint straight through. Once you get up here, the dragon will fly in and start breathing fire. So run straight through, get the door open. You can see the dragon has already torched the majority of enemies that are right here. Now, there's quite a few items here. If you stick back here as we are right now, if we stay in this spot for a while, he should stop breathing fire. So there's some other things we're going to take care of in the meantime while we wait for that. But you can get both a club, a claymore, and some embers there. So right here, this is the first mimic you encounter. I would suggest hitting it as hard as you can. It does drop quite a good weapon for early on. Oh, wow. So I do a full charge forward. I was expecting to just do a good old-fashioned regular chop there. Pull back. The biggest thing you have to watch for on the mimic is its grab. It has a grab attack. You'll notice it when it rears back right there. Right when it kind of leaned its head back, that's when it's going to try and grab you. If it grabs you, chances are you're going to die. So don't let it grab you. This should drop us a deep axe, deep battle axe. There we go. Beautiful weapon for the current build. Just to compare things. Actually, we'll put it on to give it a better comparison. As you can see, looking at it, the other axe has a little bit more resistances and better scaling, but this one has been infused with deep. Now, the good thing about that is that early on, as you can see, looking at my weapon attack power, we're looking at 145 against 207. So it is a pretty significant boost in our damage for this early in the game. Sounds like he is still just going to town with breathing that fire. We're going to go this way and open that door first before we do anything with the dragon. Now this is actually, this path will lead us to our very first bonfire, or our first bonfire like inside the level, I should say. It's not the first, but You know, that start bonfire I wouldn't consider our first bonfire, only because it's like, you know, you start there. So this is our first progression bonfire for the area. So for now, at least run past that night just to be safe. Run up here, get the bonfire lit. You'll thank me later. There's any items. Nope, look at that. One Titanite shard. Nothing like a little accidental plunging attack. Alright, so now we're going to grab some of those items back by the dragon. Particularly, also going to take care of the knight. Left trigger with certain shields right before the enemy would attack. It'll put them into a riposte state. If you're not good at parrying, your other options are, of course, blocking and attacking during your open window, or, as I would prefer, either just rolling and getting a backstab or stagger locking the enemy. So, as you can see there, we use the axe to effectively stagger that enemy down. Got our ember. Now we can run out here. We'll take a little bit of fire damage. We're going to go for it anyway. Club. And back there we can see the claymore. Now we are going to run to get the claymore. Good chance I could die. If we wait. wait right here. I'm going to cast fire in just a second here, but we can make it to the Claymore. And now that we got the Claymore, roll down. There we go. And now we have the Claymore in addition to avoiding death by fire. So just to show you the Claymore, I actually don't have the dex requirements for it, but Claymore's a really solid weapon. It's a great sword, so it's going to swing a little bit slower, just to kind of put it into perspective, even though I can't effectively use it. You know, very wide sweeps on it. And you really can't go wrong with the Claymore. Claymore is a weapon that you could play the entire game through with no regrets. So keep that in mind. You don't need to grab super special weapons all the time. Some of the most basic weapons you get are some of the best. There we go. So just by being here, you can see the dragon has changed his attention. He's now flaming this area instead of up top. I'm gonna wait for him to go again. Oh, nope, he's gonna flame both. Well, that's fine. To avoid the flame on the bottom, the easiest thing to do is just run, jump from here, and then you can continue rolling on up, and we have successfully avoided the flame. Grab the fire bombs. Now, since we did use up our Estus fighting the dragon, of course, we are going to go real fast, just hit up the bonfire. Now we're going to go get ourselves our NPC. If you wait just a second, this knight will leave the room. Of course, you are free to fight him again if you want. Alright, so from here, this is going to be the actual way to progression. But, of course, you may notice that there's a ladder right here. Now, this will take us down, and there's two things of importance that I'm going to note down here. Neither of them are really applicable at this second, but I think they're both important to at least mention, so you guys are curious about them. There's our backstab. Halberd, thank you, sir. So right here, we are going to get our red cracked eye orb. This is locked for now. There will be an NPC that appears back at Firelink Shrine that'll give us the key to go down there. We go through this path to actually get our first NPC, but he is behind a cell that's locked, and we need a key to open that cell. So we're going to go grab that key right now, and then we'll come back and we'll release him, and that'll likely be the cutoff point for this episode. So as you come up here, check to your right first. Now at this point, I would suggest equipping some fire bombs. We are going to be fighting an Abyss Beast in just a moment here. One of the middle enemies right there will transform, and you'll see that transform. Where they're careful here, we're going to swing as well, just because of the wriggling all over the place. Fire bombs do take them out quite easily. As you can see, Ember and Titanite Shard. Now be careful here, we're going to swing around. I like to go around from the back. There we go. We got our Crystal Lizard, got a Raw Gem off him. Now we're going to pick up a large soul right there. You can also scare that lizard into the Abyss Beast, and the beast will kill it for you as well. That is an option. Alright, let's go down. We'll ignore him for now. Circle around. Pick up the black fire bombs. Now we're going to be going a different path. We're going to kill this guy just because he's going to prove to be bothersome in a little bit. Our fire bombs. Now this is where we want to go, but before that we need to, of course, go take care of the issue with the NPC. There's a kind of fun. It's also guys, it's with one or two choice early on. This way, this chat. Silver Eagle kite shield. Now, the great thing about the Silver Eagle is it is a 100% physical shield, which is quite awesome. Our starting shield was 86, the East-West was 55. Is a better life. As you can see, this is more of a solid upgrade to the Night Weapon. 10, 10, 12. Decent weapon. You can see, look to aim out now. You'll basically instantly kill the enemy. So, in a similar nature, it should be able to... Yep, got him down while he was next to the barrels. There's one more enemy. He's over that way. I don't know if he's going to come out. I'd like to hit him with that other group of barrels, but he just might not be having it. We got this one instead. We can circle around. Plunging it. Grab our... Do a repel yourself. Touch this. You from here. Short circle. God, these... Oh my... I hate those dogs. That. So we're going to travel back up right here. From here we have a couple other things of interest in this area, and then following that we have our second... What is happening, guys? Cowboy here, and we're doing our on to go speak with an NPC and then take down a boss. So I think this episode will be a little bit shorter, just because I would like to save the Undead Settlement for the next episode, but more than likely we'll do the very start of the Undead Settlement and at least get to the second bonfire into it, which is kind of the real start of the settlement, if you kind of understand what I'm saying. Like the first bonfire we reached was a couple kind of open areas, and then the second bonfire is where you really start getting into the thick of the settlement. So from this bonfire, we're just going to go down, and we can basically ignore these enemies if we're quick enough. Just going to roll on through. Our elevator is still waiting for us, of course. Now, I did forget to use my my Estus shard. You could go give that to Andre and get one more Estus. I don't think I'll need it, so I'll use it before the next part. Quite a few enemies here, though. Very easy to get overwhelmed if you're not careful, so do keep that in mind. Gonna grab the green blossoms from here. We're gonna go down. There's gonna be an enemy right here. Take him out. We're gonna go up this way. Grab the large soul. I was curious if this guy would have actually followed me or not. Looks like he did. And we're gonna make a jump to reach this. So get yourself a little bit of running distance. There we go. Make a sacrifice. Kind of lucked out there having the free plunging attack on that guy. He can actually drop that halberd, so keep that in mind if you want to use some rusted coins. Bump up your luck a little bit with those rusted coins, get a better chance of getting that to drop. That being said, I'm still fine with just using the axe that we have. So if we go back here, we will get our rapier. So if you're playing a dex build, good old thrusting weapon that you can now have at your disposal. Get another ember. Now if we run right here, just because up until now, you know, we've been tying everything together, and I want to keep you guys aware of the kind of state of the world, if you will. If we climb up this ladder, now I'm not going to go all the way up, but I'm going to go up and kind of show you guys where we are at. You can see I have an enemy chasing me, and this is the area right here with the archers. If you remember, we were kind of at this area before. Okay, fine. This guy's going to be a dick, so it looks like I am going to go up. Thankfully, that guy dropped out of the way. No! And off we go. So that particular area with the ladder there, naturally, I mean, the load times aren't that bad. Improved. Either way, so from the high, or the Tower Apart bonfire, we're going to go. we're going to actually skip a couple enemies here, which is kind of risky considering our souls are just waiting to be picked back up. And we're going to drop on down. Very easy to slaughter enemies when they're grouped up. And you can really see that benefit of the shield right there. Managed to just completely shut down that attack and circle around for an easy backstab on that enemy. So, run through this area very fast. This guy's going to try and throw fire bombs. Now, if they hit you, it's not that bad, but as you can see with all these barrels, exploding barrels are not fun to deal with, especially when you get hit. It is very easy to end up getting just outright killed by exploding barrels. And run on down here and bounce. Now, might be mixing up my areas. Anyway, so we'll run in here. Is that where he's at? No. Alright. What we talk about is the Ring of Sacrifice. Just of me. There's Big Blue. This beast right here will respawn, so keep that in mind. There's Big Blue. Top ourselves off. And there's our souls, right about where we died. Alright, now before we duke it out with Big Blue, we are going to buff up here. Where's he at? Where are you? How am I not seeing this guy? He's huge. There he is. Big Blue is down. Still no halberd off of him. That's okay, though. Now, just to make your life easier, circle back around and hit this guy. Last thing you want is him sitting here and throwing, shooting fiery bolts at you. Deserter trousers, thank you for that. Now, we're going to actually keep our shield up for this next part. These knights can hit quite hard. If you're able to parry them, that is easily the ideal option. We're also going to put on some throwing knives just to pull them apart and fight one knight at a time. So, one throwing knife. Come on. There we go. We have his attention. This one seems to be slightly derpy. There we go. Now he understands where we're at. He should come over to us, and we're going to pull him up here just so that way the other knights don't get involved. Come on. Keep coming. Get over here. I'm calling you. As you can see, the good old block and backstab tactic working very, very well, allowing us to clear out these knights. You can actually get a fairly nice shield off of them. One of the better shields in the game, in my opinion, was actually the shield I used to beat one of the late bosses in the game. What I would consider actually be the hardest boss in the game. It's 100% physical and then very good lightning resist as well. So something to keep in mind if you can get them to drop. Not a bad idea to actually farm them and just keep farming them until you get that drop. And of course, to farm enemies, all you have to do is go rest at the bonfire. That will cause all the enemies to respawn, and then from there you can just come back down and fight them again. Knight's crossbow, which is actually pretty good to snatch up now. Being a strength build, I don't have the requirements to use bows. I do have the requirements to use crossbows, but you'll notice up in the corner my weight ratio with that will be 72.7. Now, you always want your weight to be below 70%. That's very, very important. As you can see right now, I have a fairly fluid roll. Now, just for demonstrative purposes, if I was to put on something that puts me over that threshold, you can see I have a much clunkier roll. And this is what we call fat rolling. You'll notice we have a very far roll now. Even more fluid than before. think it is 30%. No, we still got super fast rolling. Let's go up more. All right, now we're down to normal rolling. So maybe 40% is the threshold there. Let's see. Yeah, so 40% is likely the threshold for fast rolls. But, I mean, fast rolls are nice. Normal rolls are fine. Lucerne, new weapon we picked up. Decent weapon. I actually use this for a large part of the Let's Play series. One more knight to kill. Now, this knight's a little bit harder than the rest. Same tactics we've used up until now do still apply. If you're very careful, you can actually walk all the way up behind him for a backstab, though. Ooh, was not close enough for the backstab, but that's okay. Still got really good damage into him. Now, as you can see, he has red glowing eyes, and that's the big thing you want to look for. Basically, anytime you see an enemy whose eyes are glowing red, they're going to be a bit harder to kill, and they're going to hit a little bit harder than other enemies. So do keep that in mind. Got a refined gem off of him. Now we're going to run inside here and talk to Emma.
Ah, the wait has been long, unkindled one. I am Emma, High Priestess of Lothric Castle. Allow me to speak frankly. You will not find the Lords of Cinder here. They have left, gone, to their churning homes, converging at the base of this castle. Head to the bottom of the high wall, forge on through the great gate, and raise this banner to proceed. This farewell gift is for you. It is the insignia of an old covenant. If you fear trespassers, dark spirits drawn by the embers, then etch this upon your heart, and the old Concord will beckon noble blue sentinels to hunt these foul spirits.
So that is the first covenant, Way of the Blue. To put on covenants, you simply go right here, and you can freely equip it. Now, the Way of the Blue covenant is a good covenant if you're just starting out playing. Basically, the way the Blue works is if a red invader comes into your world and you're part of the Way of the Blue, anyone who's part of the Blue Sentinels can be automatically summoned into your world to defend you. So if you are playing online and it's your first time going through the game and you're scared of other players, which is understandable, Way of the Blue is kind of like a safety net to help protect you against invaders. Now we're going to Ember up. In general, there's two things I want to mention about Embers. Because Embers can be used for a full heal, I like to save Embers during boss fights and pop them right before, or pop them in the fight after I run out of Estus, just for that, that last chance. Let me heal to full, because I think I can beat this guy. On top of that, because they are, Ambers are kind of expensive to buy, and aside from that, the only consistent way to get them is farming the Abyss Beasts. I usually prefer to save them for that exact reason. That being said, with an Ember state up like we have now, you are able to see summons, including NPC summon signs. So, keep that in mind. It's the trade-off. You're going to be going into the boss with a little bit more health, but because we are already in Ember state, and as you can see right here, we can summon Swordmaster into the world. This is the guy that dropped the Uchigatana for us. So, it's the trade-off. You could save it for a full heal, or you could use it to summon someone into the fight to assist you. So we're going to be using as many NPC summons as possible during this playthrough. And strictly, we are going to be using only NPCs and not players, because I want you all to have an experience that can be replicated to my own. Now, this boss has two main phases. When he gets around 50%, he will begin charging like a mad dog. So we have a small window to buff here. We got our axe up. We're going to take our shield out until we're in a spot where we can get clean hits on him. And now we're just going to start wailing into this guy. Now, in general, for giant bosses, it's almost easiest to get underneath them. take Bort, for example, with his very wide swings, it's a little bit harder for him to hit you when you're kind of inside of him, how I am right now. You can see he's done quite a few attacks that have missed completely. One thing to note about this boss fight, as you see, I have a meter above his health, and that's Frostbite. As he continues to do damage to you, he'll build up something that's known as Frostbite. And if you get frostbitten, you'll lose a big chunk of health. He's going to do this blast. You can outrange it. Swordmaster getting hit rather hard, so I'm going to get up and help finish things off. Just kind of staying underneath Bort, making it a little easier to do damage to him. That one's connected, so we're going to roll back while he's doing his slams. Actually, we already used our Estus, so we're going to pull out our shield here, play it a little bit safe. We almost got him dead. Pull behind. Starting to charge again. Wait for the charge, and then roll out of the way. With the Frost Blast, we can actually go in and get easy free damage while he's doing that. those rusted coins, get a better chance of getting that to drop. So from this bonfire that we ran to, character update. So far, spending our souls, we've been putting everything into strength. I'm actually nope, nope, no, 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 no. Oh man, that was close. I almost threw it into those barrels. Grab the cell key. We can now pick up our NPC.
I literally wasn't clicking F. I was going forward actually. This is so retarded. Oh my god. I'm so sick of this. I need to level up more, but I don't know how to fucking get fire.
Welcome home, speak. Farewell, maid of...
Ah, 'tis good, wasn't he? Pretty be careful, I don't... Ah, tis good, wasn't he? Pretty big, I go.